We are in the exact spot you spawn in when you very first start the game. I estimate it's going to take 76 months in-game to earn $1 billion. And of course, the fastest way to get rich is to already be rich. We have $500,000 in the bank. And of course, $200,000 of that is from the initial loan that we start with. Now, throughout this entire playthrough, we will not be taking any further loans. And instead, we'll be paying off that $200,000 over time. Since our goal is to make money as fast as possible, we'll be playing on 1 day per month seasons, but we are going to leave the difficulty on hard. The first thing we need to do is buy a piece of land. So we've got this farm that we kind of spawn on, and I think we're going to go ahead and just take it for $157,000. We now own this piece of land, the couple barns that come with it, and these 3 small fields. Looks like we've got canola. It's still growing, not ready to harvest. We've got some oats over here ready to harvest, and we've got corn not ready to harvest. Once we get all of these fields completely harvested, we're going to be planting every single one of them in canola. But first, we need to get started by getting a harvester. Okay, so we have a lot of options in here, but the cheapest one we can get is right down here, $75,000. Now, I'm really tempted to go with the cheap one, but seeing how we're going to be probably using it consistently, we'll just go ahead and buy. And we're going to need the headers as well. We're only going to need this header, usually, so we're going to go ahead and buy it. And we are going to need this header, but we're going to lease it when the time comes. Okay, so we've got our combine harvester and header. We just probably need a tractor, maybe a cart of some kind, but those aren't completely necessary steps yet. We could find another alternative for that $240,000 sitting up there. I think we should explore our options. Wow, check this out. Our neighbor's got a really nice field right here. Wouldn't that just be a lovely place to grow pumpkins? Oh man, if you guys don't know, they recently came out with like carrots and stuff, which is really cool. I love that. But I want to see pumpkins, man. Somebody, please, make it so I can plant pumpkins. Anyways, let's get in here to the farm and harvest our little field, shall we? Now, while we're doing this, we ought to be making some money. So I want to take a look at something that I know a lot of you are going to be saying, oh no, why would Jake show interest in these gigantic solar-powered things? Flashback to my public farm server where I hopped in and put some of these down, and well, let's just say some of you guys did not like that. But here's the thing, we've done the math, and this actually gives you the highest return on investment out of all of these passive income options. This one right here. Now, don't get me wrong, this earns you the most money, but this gives you the biggest return on investment. So we got $93,500 is what it costs to place these down. We don't have a house at the moment. We could budget for one maybe someday. We'll stay in a motel for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. So we'll leave that spot open for a house, but we need to add at least a couple of these. So we've got 2 of those. We're down to $56,000, and we are probably going to be hurting for cash a little bit. But as we can see, they're off track in the sun, getting that money for us. Now we can come over here and get this to harvest. And now I'm going to go ahead and speed this time up. I don't exactly know what time I should be running this at, and we're going to be figuring it out as we go along. Like I said, we have essentially just over 6 years, what I predict, until we earn $1 billion. I could be off. There are a lot of variables that go in on that, but if we play our cards correctly, it should be about 6 years. So right now, I'm going to just kind of go through here and get as much of this harvested as we can. Very tiny little fields. We're not going to get much off of these. What this initial investment bought us is a home location, is a property, you know, and barns and things like that. So all in good time, we will start making our real money here. But until then, I'm going to keep going back and forth through this field and harvest as much of this as we can. And we should look at some of those other fields out there because I think they're pretty well priced, around anywhere from $40,000 to $70,000 depending on the field. Of course, the problem is we also need to get a planter and a tractor and probably a, disc and a fertilizer applicator and all kinds of things like that. But we don't really have the budget, so we're going to have to be a little resourceful here. Because remember, we are not allowed to take any loans throughout the rest of this event. We got the $200,000 loan that it starts us out with, but that is it. Look at that. We haven't even finished this tiny little field. We've already made some money off of our 2 solar panels over there. You recall we were down to about, what, $56,000? We're up to about $62,000 already, and the day is not even over. It is dark out already. We're going to be going into the next month here, and so I just want to see. We harvested oats just now. No, what did we harvest? We harvested oats, didn't we? Yes, we harvested oats just now. It'll be high in January, so we want to keep our eye on that. But for the time being, we'll just run this over to our silo. What do you say? Now, I aim to make it as far as we can in our first episode here, but the odds are not in our favor that we're going to cover 6.5 years today. So if you want to see more of this, then make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe. I'm only just now realizing we don't actually have a silo for crops on this farm. The problem is I really don't think we're going to be able to afford one. The cheapest silo I've got is $72,000, and we have $64,000 in the bank. Okay, well, for the time being, it's going to have to just stay right there in the combine, and we need to get our tractor situation figured out. So something tells me this is probably going to be about one of the better deals that we've got, 190 horsepower. But regardless, I can't seem to afford it, not unless we go ahead and sell this crop on the low and then take that money and put it towards the tractor. All right, I've got a plan. You're going to call me crazy, but we might be able to afford it. I'm going to completely till up the sunflowers, completely till up the corn. We need to get our canola planted into these two fields, and I really don't think it's worth harvesting those when we have to lease the equipment to be able to do it in the first place. So it looks like the cereal factory is offering a really good price. We're going to go visit the cereal factory in our combine, and hopefully we can make some money from selling them this crop. I don't know. All right, going to create a job for our combine. Going to tell them to go to a location. Now, since it's not a truck, I can't tell them to go sell, but I can tell them to just go over here. So we're going to tell the combine to head that way. Oh, it doesn't like the position. It is not unreachable. I promise you it's not unreachable. All right, there he goes. So he's going to head over there. We're going to have to remember to get over there and sell that, so he's not just wasting time and money. But right now, we need to get our tractor situation figured out. So I think we're going to have to just lease one of these for the time being. The answer depends on what a cultivator is going to take. So 160, 180 is the biggest we can go at about 5 meters, and it's going to cost $24,000. I think we go ahead and just lease it here, and then we'll go into medium tractor. We're going to lease this right here because it has 190 horsepower. $5,000 down the drain to lease it, but we're got to do what you got to do for right now. And now we'll get this fired up back over to the farm and rolling this morning because time is money, and we are burning a lot of that. But if you guys are enjoying this video, let me know by hitting the like and subscribing. Comment down below how fast you think you could earn $1 billion in Farming Simulator, and if you want to, partake in the challenge along the way. By the way, I just wanted to quickly say that a lot of you guys have been asking for a little less edited, a little less produced videos, something a little bit different, something a little bit more like how we used to do roleplay videos. So we're going to be taking it back a little bit more to that style. And if you guys are enjoying that, then please let me know, and keep letting me know what you want to see in videos moving forward. But we have made it back to the farm, and the fact that we are at the farm means my friend is probably over there waiting to sell that crop. Look at this. I don't even need to plow. I just needed to drive a tractor through here. We could have had a free option. No, regardless, we're going to till this area up right here. I'm going to hire a worker to do it so I can get over and help Nova get out of the trees. But he's having a time, aren't you? Okay. I'll take over from here. But it's officially the new morning, and we're going to check the pocketbook. $56,000. It's about where we were yesterday at our low, but we haven't dipped below that, which is a good sign. If we can stay not dipping below that, that'd be great. But something tells me we are going to end up a little bit lower here today, as we probably get into planting some canola. But selling the 1,514 liters of oats we have here should maybe at least cover a little bit of the seed cost. And just like that, we are selling our crop right onto the concrete. That's how they take it here. $734 is what we get off of that initial field, which is fine by me, because that means it's going to take the most of our seed cost as well. So we're going to line this up and tell the driver to take that back over to the farm. And we're going to take over the tractor here. As you can see, they made a good, well, fourth of the way. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jake. We could have got a little bit of money off of this. I mean, it was planted when we had it, we might as well have earned the money, but I just really didn't want to have to deal with the, time input, the fuel input. I didn't think we were going to get a high enough off of it after having to lease what we would have to lease. And not to mention that we're going to be running out of time on planting our canola, which is our main cash crop. We're using the money we get from our canola fields to invest into our solar panels, which will then bring us more passive income and allow us to invest back into both the canola crop and the solar panels themselves. Eventually, as we get more and more capital, we can get into higher dollar things like wind turbines and some other stuff like that. And eventually, if you guys are open to bringing in mods into this series, we could start to explore those options as well. But I'll let you guys decide all of that stuff in the comments down below. As far as I see, we've got a field almost ready to be planted. It should probably be rolled, because I do see rocks, but we'll deal with rolling that as soon as we get the other field all ripped up as well. Our 2 solar panels are doing pretty well, but in order to make us proper money, we need sunny days. And it looks like so far this morning, it's been a relatively cloudy one. See, gonna be cloudy all day? Oh, cloudy and rainy all day. Gosh, it is unfortunate. Days like those are not good days for our solar panels. But that's all right. I'm going to keep focusing on ripping up these 2 fields. We've got straw down there. We might consider baling up. I don't know. Probably not, seeing as how, again, we'd have to lease the equipment to do it, and that is just going to cost way more than we're going to get out of that straw. But I'll keep working here this morning, and I'll tune in with you guys once we shift our gears a little bit. Boys, I'm lost in the corn. It is a really weird sensation to be plowing up corn that is taller than the cab of your tractor. I mean, that just does not feel right, friendo. But you know what this means? We got more room for solar panels. We just don't have enough money for more solar panels. Our combine did show back up, though, so we should probably go over here and get it out of the state highway. Oh, man, we don't need a ticket. That is the last thing we need on our agenda right now is the county mountie mad at us. I am glad we went ahead and purchased this combine, though. It's going to be something we have for a long time. At least that's the plan. We should take a look and see if there's anything interesting for sale. Oh my lord, look at this thing. Ah, jeez. If you were doing some, what is that, potatoes or sugar beets? I think that might be sugar beets. Either way, my goodness. No thank you. I don't have that kind of money. There's nothing in there for me. I want to see what can plant canola. So cedars can plant canola. What about our planters? This one can plant canola for $89,000. That's a really good size, 9 meters, 180 horsepower. Okay, I like that. I've used that one a lot. A little cheaper. I think we might go with that planter, y'all. That planter is probably the answer. But I'll tell you what, let's get this ripped up and then we'll go sort that. Okay, so we got 2 of the fields all ripped up. It's about 10 a.m. now. That leaves just 1 more of our fields here. And then we can go get a planter. The problem is we can't seem to buy a planter yet. We once again do not have the money. We're gonna have to lease a planter. But once we do that, we might have the money to buy another field. I mean, it could be worth it. It's risky. It's very risky. It's extremely risky, but I've never been one to shy from risk. I mean, I'll complain about it. I'll very much complain about it, but I won't shy from it. Now, the good news is we're almost done ripping all these up, and we can probably get planting soon. The bad news is it is going to start raining in the next couple hours. That could help or hurt us, depends on how heavy that rain falls. I think we're going to risk it anyways and try planting. It's either that or we miss planting anyways, so we might as well give it a try. Okay, so everything has been completely ripped up. I am going to go ahead and get the planter, and I'll run down to the shop and pick that up. We'll get it filled up with seed and fertilizer and get these fields planted with their canola. We're not going to fill this in completely. That's probably more than I need. Let's get back down there and get to planting. Luckily, this planter is ginormous. It's going to make a real quick job of things. We've got $52,000 right now. If we had a little bit more money, I think we could buy a field. In fact, we might still be able to buy a field. Let's take a look here. We've got, where was it? Right there, $49,000. It's got potatoes in it. Uh-oh. So good thing we didn't get rid of the cultivator, because we do still need it. I think we'll go ahead and do it. It's risky. But I'm down for the risk. Let's go ahead and buy that field. We're down to $4,000 now. I hope I'm not gonna regret this. Let's make sure we are on our crop of canola. Now I just gotta get myself switched over and ready to plant this. Okay, drop it down. Got it set to canola. Go forward. Plant it in. Oh, yeah, baby. Here's the thing. We are barely using any of our seed. We're barely using any of our fertilizer. And we have this stuff leased. I'm not nervous. Are you? I can't buy more land. Maybe I can do some contracts. I wonder if there's any planting contracts going about right about now. Okay, we got to the end. We're gonna turn ourselves around so our neighbor don't get mad at us. Our neighbor's pretty cool. We have cookouts every once in a while. If you guys want to meet him, I'll let you meet him sometime. I'll tell you what. You guys can meet our neighbor if you get this video to 1,000 likes. Get this video to 1,000 likes, and I'll let you meet our neighbor next time. And this is some of the most grindy work that we're going to be getting into is right in the start. We've got a lot of initial farming we've got to do. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of farming we're going to do throughout the whole thing. But as we progress, we're able to get more and more passive income, which is going to help us invest more and more into more passive income. So it kind of starts to build itself. So the make it or break it, the really hard period, is right now. And honestly, there's no better metaphor to that than the rain falling on us as we're finishing our one field here. We've got one more field we got to rip up still, but now we're gonna have to plant that one after this rain dries out. I think this is our field right here, and it sure is. The potatoes are indeed ours. We're gonna rip these up. I know they're the highest value crop in the game, but we don't have any of the equipment to extract it, and it probably wouldn't be worth it for the one harvest that we would do. So we're just going to go through, rip it all up, and try and get this planted into the crop we intend to harvest. But now I've sped time up way too long, and we're coming up towards the end of our day here. Today is the last day I can plant canola, so I don't want that clock to go beyond into the next month here, because if we do that, then we're not going to get any money out of the field that we just spent $46,000 on and then ripped its crop out of. The rain did not stop at all. And this field is going to be muddy. I shouldn't be doing this right now. I should not plant when I come to plant here tonight. I mean, the conditions are absolutely awful. This is the worst case scenario for us. But I promise you, dude, I'm committed. We're gonna have $1 billion by the end of this, right? The time still marching on. I've got that speed slowed way down to ×5 now. I'm a little worried about it. It's getting dark as heck out here. Our equipment is on lease, so the second we hit tomorrow, we get charged for it, and I don't have the money to pay for another charge on this equipment. So we need to get everything done before midnight. You could definitely say the clock is ticking. So while I'm here in the middle of the night in the rain plowing up a potato field, I've come up with a really good mod idea. And if there are any modders watching, I want you to hear me out. Let me know what you think. So right now, if you buy a piece of land and it's a bare piece of land, you build sheds and stuff, you build a farm on that land, those sheds and everything is worth money, right? Now, when it comes time to sell all of that, you have to sell everything off of the land, the sheds and all. But you can get like some of the money, the value out of the shed, right? Well, what if we had a mod that let you keep those placeables on there when you sell the land, but the value of the land goes up to compensate for the value added by having the sheds and the barns and whatever you build on the land. So you could literally develop land in Farming Simulator and use that to generate your wealth. Long story short, that would be an amazing mod. And you never know, it could save a lot of people a lot of money. But I know what's going to save me a lot of money right now is returning this plow. So let's going to do that, and we're going to get this planted in the mud. We're going to mud the rest of the canola in. It might not even grow. It may, you know, in some spots probably wash out. We'll see. We'll see how bad it goes. All right, finishing up this field with the last pass in that corner right there. I'm going to turn off the planter, get it back to our farm, empty it out of the supplies so we can keep that, and then get rid of it so we don't get charged another day. The tractor, however, we really probably should keep, so I'm gonna go ahead and let them charge us for that. We've got our materials. Every field has been planted, and now we just got to speed forward until the morning. As we speed forward, I want to let you know all of the statistics are going to be tracked, and we will show you this every single episode as we progress, so you can see all of the work and effort and time that it takes to earn $1 billion. All right, so there was midnight. We made $6,000 off the property, but we had a bunch of, leasing costs and all that good stuff. So we have $4,000 in the bank. Remember how I said I didn't want to go below 50? Oopsies. My friends, it is a beautiful October morning, and we have probably plenty to do on the farm. Let's check our fields. Looks like we've got canola coming up, and we've got weeds growing out there as well. We're gonna have to take care of these weeds here today. All of our fields, even the one all the way back here. Yep, every single field of canola needs to be taken care of with the weeder. So we can get a sprayer or a weeder, but let's go ahead and check what's on sale. And really nothing that we need at this time. First, I want to check sprayer would be about $34,000. How much is a weeder? Okay. Weeder is way more, weeders are nice, buddy. Actually, I can't afford any of these. Oh, I don't want you. You can plant. You can plant? Oh, mama. Hey, do you guys know this one can plant? $18,000 it can plant. How big? 9 meters? That is not bad. Maybe right now I should just lease this, use it as a weeder, and a planter when I need to. It costs $918 to lease it. Surely I can use it as a normal weeder, right? Okay, so we're here with the planter / weeder. I want to see if we can weed without planting. Now, we do have crop destruction on, but our crop is young enough we can drive out on it, which is why we're able to weed it here. I'm not going to turn this on because I'm afraid that would actually make it plant. So I'm just going to drop it down. And theoretically, this should start to dispose of weeds. Now we need to be going fast enough that it kind of plucks the weeds right up and out of there. If we stop and take a look, we can see we've got all kinds of weeds up here. I mean, that is one, that is some, that is some, that is some, that is a bunch right over there. You can see it all out there. Now, if we look from up in front to the back side, it is so much cleaner. So it is actually working. You can see the cutoff kind of right there. Very cool. So we found a weeder that we're actually going to be able to plant with as well for $18,000. If you're looking for a very quick way to plant some canola, this might be the way to do it. These clouds are going to be a problem for our solar panels. So are the trees right next door. That could also be a light hindrance, I suppose. Perhaps we need to cut a few trees down. I'm not the biggest fan of doing that, but it might make sense in this situation, and we can make a little money. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we cut, no more than 2 or 3 trees out of that corner over there to open that up more, or do we just leave it how it is? All right, so coming up on 11 o'clock, got the time sped up just a little bit here. We've almost got 2 of these fields done. Got the little one and the big one out back yet to do. Figure we got plenty of time to do them today. It is going to rain again in a little bit, but that should not seem to stop us. I think we're going to be fine. We've got $3,100 in the bank now, so or $3,800 now in the bank, since we're running time forward a little bit faster, and that is thanks to the little bit of sun we're getting through the clouds down on our solar panel. But looks like we've got all of this area weeded up. We need to go beyond the barn, get the little square, then we'll do the field out back. Here comes the rain. Doo, 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 doo. And with this field, all of our fields will be completely weeded and should be more or less ready to sit through winter. Not a whole lot of money-making opportunity for us, at least on the farm side of things, through winter. So we'll probably just skip on through that, and I will see you guys in the spring.